Hey Carly, how you doing? I've got your first iteration up here, but I just kind of want to bring this down a little bit so we can fit it in the window. So just bear with me for 1 second here. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Okay, so my first reaction here is that it's a functional design, but this is what we call, and please understand, I don't mean to sound discouraging at all, but this is in design what we call pedestrian. This is what would be considered a pedestrian solution, meaning this. It's perfectly functional, but it's not extremely compelling. It's not what someone would say, wow, that's amazing design right there. And that's what we're shooting for as designers. We really want every piece of work to come out of our studio to be very, very compelling, not only as in its delivery of the message, but it's in its visual attributes as well. So I'm going to go through this and I'm going to give you some suggestions and some ideas and show you some examples of hopefully by the end of this critique, you will have a really clear understanding between the difference between compelling design and a pedestrian solution. Okay, so as I said, again, I don't want to sound discouraging, but let's go ahead and take a look at the work. And I've got the specifications page open, instructions page. So we're going to go through this hit list here and make sure that all of the requirements are covered. So instructions, your selected object must be dominant. Make it big, crop part of it. You don't necessarily need to see all of it to communicate what it is. This could be the difference between pedestrian design and compelling design in the way that you present the main image. So remember, the main image has got to be um, the focal point or the dominant image, right? Well, we come in here and there is no dominant image or no focal point. Let me explain to you why. This image isn't dominant because it's basically the same size as this image. So you're not saying to the viewer, one is bigger, this was should be looked at first. Now this also, since these are all in boxes, this could also be considered dominant because this acts as one image. Even though there's 4 images with it, they're all connected with boxes in one major frame. So this could be considered to be one image. So again, this is competing with this, and they're both competing with this for first position in hierarchy dominance based on image. So my recommendation here is to take your main image, make sure that it's the main image. Let the viewer know this is the main image. This is where you should be looking first. Let me show you a quick example. Okay, in this example, is there any question where the viewer is supposed to look first? And I think absolutely not. This is the biggest and brightest area on the page. Therefore, that is first position in hierarchy. The viewer will look at this first, but they'll immediately go up to this beautiful typographic composition right here, which leads me to my next comment in your composition. Is this is just really basic typesetting, designs in everyday life. Just set up one line, nothing, no compositional elements here, no real visual engagement going on. So again, I think that we could create some further visual engagement by creating a typographic composition instead of just basically laying out the type and presenting it basically default as it comes out of the computer. So, and again, here's a great example. That's a wonderful little typographic composition that is highly engaging, very interesting, and fun to look at. So think about applying something like that to your work. Now, don't forget, back to the instructions. Let me see, where did I want to see? Oh, phrase design. It's design in everyday life. Design is singular. It's not plural. So this should read design in everyday life, not designs in everyday life. Okay. Poster must include an image of the object in use. Take a picture of someone using it or interacting with it. Yes, we have that. Back, you know what, let me just bring this over here so we can kind of look at both at the same time. Okay, poster must include one image that results from the use of your object. If you have, so I don't see what image is resulting from the use of the object. Did you see what I'm saying? I'm not seeing a result of using your laptop computer. So think about that. Think about how you'll include that. two components. We've got the components here plus some other images, so that's great. And then, but these components do not have to be shown in the background. So these are all boxed up in boxes. So remember, these don't all have to be boxed up. What happens when you box up all the images like this is you have 4 images that now act as one image, as I mentioned earlier in my comments on hierarchy. Next. A poster must include 1 paragraph of text that describes, you've got that, the phrase design in everyday life, we addressed that. And then you have your caption text. All right. So that's great. One thing I do want to mention on the captions is that this caption here is different than these captions. So you definitely want to make sure you have consistency in your typographic presentation on your captions. Okay. Back to the requirements. Okay, down to the requirements. White background only, got that. Asymmetrical design, got that. 7 by 15, got that. Imagery must come into contact two areas, got that. Combine images that are in boxes and part of the background and cropped individually, we got that, but remember my comments on that. Full color, keep your image dominant. You must use a grid. Again, keep your image dominant, okay? So with those comments that I made, really do everything you can to try and employ those comments. And also think about how you can borrow attributes from the image to help and assist in creating visual engagement in the composition. A great example there is in the course lecture, in the specific examples where they take attributes from the image and show how they're made, how those attributes are borrowed to enhance the composition. And I think one of the most effective demonstrations is the one with the Volkswagen ad, where it really dissects that thing out and describes exactly how the design decisions were made based on what? Based on the image. So we want to think about how we can, and I'll give you some examples in a second. Let's look at typography. Okay, design an everyday laptop feature. This, I think, you could have a separation right here between design and everyday life and laptops. The reason being is because this is a main hierarchy, right? That's the main point, the headline, okay? Now, laptops and featuring the spectra are kind of connected, right? And they're subtopics of the headline. So instead of having no spaces at all, think about taking a little bit of a space and adding it between the main headline and then the word laptops. And just keep this relationship is fine, the description and the subhead. That's fine, but take that whole text block right down, move it down a little bit to separate it from the headline. In your type, I recommend that you employ, excuse me, I recommend that you employ, and go to the announcements area for demonstrations on this and tutorials, but you want to use old style figures, okay? And anywhere there's a figure. So we've got 360 there, we got 15 there, one other area there, right there, 4. Okay, and then there's, all right, and then, so old style figures, and then use small caps where applicable, not all caps. That's all cap right there. These are all caps right here. This is a perfect opportunity right here to use small caps. Okay, I think there was HDR right there. Another perfect example of where to use small caps. Okay, so again, go to the course announcement and you will see, let me just jump. Oh, here's welcome to week 4. And you can see old style figures right here. Here's some good resources describing old style figures, how to access them. Here's a video tutorial showing you how to set old style figures through the OpenType panel. Then we have -M-N-, same thing here, all caps versus small caps, description, and then here's a tutorial. Then we have these examples, and I'm going to go through these examples in a second. But again, try to apply all of the recommendations I've mentioned. Now, to the example, and I just want to kind of leave you off with this example, because then I would like you to go ahead and submit your final post. But okay, so what do we have here? Design in everyday life. We've got this wonderful typographic composition, right? Note the color. We've got some great colors going. Note the color continuation. This color here is a continuation of this color here. This brown here is sampled right out of the coffee beans and also used to create the circular frames around the images. We got the little type. Now, why the circles? The circles were borrowed right out of the image. There's a main circle right there, right? There's the circle. There's the circle. Again, here in the logo, there's 3 circles that are oriented vertically. What do we have? 3 circles oriented vertically. All right, again, we've got these dots that are also circles, and they also mimic this little portion right here, right? But note the really cool thing here is that these dots also play a double role. It's kind of mimicking coffee dripping out of the coffee machine. So you can see a high degree of visual cohesion here, a high degree of visual correspondence, and a lot of meaning being created and a lot of elements being borrowed from the image itself to assist in compelling design. I'd like you to really work towards this goal. And at the beginning of this critique, I mentioned the difference between pedestrian design and compelling design. And this would definitely be compelling design, right? So think about that. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. And go ahead and, oh, one other thing I wanted to mention is there's an extra space right here. Remember, only 1 space after periods, always, never, ever 2 spaces. Right there, there's 2 spaces between the period and the capital T in the word the. All right, so another thing is Vivid Colors HDR support wide viewing makes editing photos a breeze. That's a complete thought, which makes it a complete sentence, which means it should have punctuation. That should have a period. These aren't. These don't need punctuation because they're not complete sentences. 2-in-1, versatile, multi-ports to power all your devices. Those wouldn't need periods, but that does seem like a sentence that should probably use a period. Okay, so those are my recommendations. If you have any questions, comments, concerns at all, please let me know. But go ahead and apply these to your final submission. Thank you very much, Carly.